Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Wait,
You want to go first?
You
I
don't
think
have to
I can.
reintroduce yourself.
yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
I was just gonna ask, like, tell me about like your line of work and what brought you to work in that field.
When I was a little kid growing up on the Mediterranean coast of Spain, I was completely fascinated by some TV documentaries. Back then, there was a man called Jacques Cousteau. I don't know if you heard of him. But as I was growing in the 70s, 1970s, 20th century for you, I wanted to be one of those divers in the undersea world of Jacques Cousteau exploring the world. You know, back then we had 2 TV channels. Now you have 800. And there was only one group of people showing us what the ocean was like around the world, and Jacques Cousteau and his divers. So that was my inspiration. Since I was a little kid, I wanted to explore the ocean, and I'm living my dream, basically.
So you do like diving and that kind of things, or are you more like research? Or both?
A little
You
bit
can
of
do
everything.
both.
Yeah, so I work to support ocean protection. So I founded a program called Pristine Seas, National Geographic Pristine Seas. And we work with communities, indigenous peoples, and governments to create very large marine protected areas. These are areas with no fishing, no drilling, no mining. So the ocean can bounce back to life because we have taken fish out of the ocean faster than they can reproduce. And with global warming, as you have just heard, things are really in bad shape. But if we set aside places, marine life comes back spectacularly. And the beauty of this is that there are so many fish and lobsters and scallops inside these protected areas. They produce so many babies that there is such spillover of fish and lobsters and scallops that helps to replenish the areas around. So the local people are catching more fish now around these no-take zones than before when they were fishing all over the place. Also, these protected areas helps coastal communities, local communities, protect these places from the ravages of industrial fishing, the big vessels that are causing so much harm in the ocean today.
May I ask, like, what areas are you working to protect?
We have worked since 2008 all over the world, from the Arctic to Antarctica to coral reefs, temperate seas in the Indian Ocean, Mediterranean, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, from coral reefs to kelp forest to almost every ocean basin on Earth.
Oh.
We have helped to protect 31 of the largest marine reserves that we have today.
I was curious, like, I've seen some things on the news about like offshore drilling in California. I was curious, like, if California has like the potential to become a protected coast, or if it is a protected coast for that.
California is one of the best examples we have in the world,
Okay.
because the state of California did a process called the Marine Life Protection Act, where they got together with fishers, tourism operators, scientists, conservationists, users of the Californian coast. And they agreed all together to protect about 20% of Californian waters.
Wow.
And it is fantastic because there are places like the Channel Islands where there are these no-take zones that have so many fish and so many lobsters that the local fishers catch more than twice the amount of lobsters that they did before now around these protected areas. So everybody loves these protected areas. The tourism business loves it because people want to go to these places and spend money to see the marine life that is missing everywhere else, right? The mayors love it because everybody in the towns is happy. So California is a great example. I wish that every state in the United States had the same vision and the same network of protected areas as you have here in California.
I mean, I know you're from Spain and stuff, and a lot of time, like, my parents are from Mexico, and growing up, I didn't learn about climate change as often as I did in school. Like, it was never a topic that was touched upon at home. So, I guess, like, my question for you is, like, how can we, as, like, Spanish-speaking countries, like, just bring that more awareness into school? Because I know my cousins from Mexico don't learn about it as much as we do over here.
Well, that's a question for the Mexican Ministry of Education. But I worked in Mexico a lot when I was a professor at the University of California in San Diego, south from here. And I worked with the Mexican government to create the largest no-take zone in all of North America
Wow.
back then.
Yeah.
Now there is a bigger one in Canada. And that's in the Revillagigedo Islands, south of Baja California. It's 150,000 square kilometers. It's a fully protected area. There are so many fish there that the tuna fishing industry of Mexico is catching more now around it than before. It's a tourism mecca, right? So the Mexican government has done a few really good things. And these places are also more resilient to warming. These places are able to respond better, to adapt, to bounce back better after marine heat waves. So Mexico has done just a few good things. It just needs to replicate them. And yeah, I encourage you to write to the Minister of Education of Mexico and let them know that they should be a little more proactive when it comes to education about the climate crisis.
You mentioned Canada. I was curious. I was learning a little bit about in British Columbia about the fish breeding problem, I believe, like salmon breeding or something. I was wondering if you knew anything about that, or if the protected area, like where it was, I guess.
British Columbia has lots of salmon farms,
Salmon farms.
which are pens
Yeah.
on the ocean to raise salmon. And there are many problems with salmon farming.
Yeah.
Usually it's salmon from the Atlantic that is used in the Pacific. So it's an invasive species, introduced species. They farm the salmon in such densities that they have so many parasites that they escape and infect the natural salmon populations.
Yeah.
The pens break always. There is this escape of thousands and thousands of salmon, farm salmon from the Atlantic into the rivers of the Pacific. And that causes havoc, that wreaks havoc on the local populations. So there are lots of problems. But Canada, under the government of Prime Minister Trudeau, they decided that they were going to end salmon farming in the ocean because it is so damaging. So they are going to move towards salmon farming on the land, where they can control the water, make sure that they don't release parasites. They can make sure that no salmon escape, because salmon still haven't learned to walk from the farm on land to the ocean.
Sure.
So, am I right about that or not? Sort of.
So the Trudeau did provide make an announcement to phase out salmon aquaculture on the west coast. He did not do so on the east coast of Canada.
Okay.
It remains an enormous problem that continues to expand because the areas that people have done aquaculture for salmon are warming.
Yeah.
And so those areas are being destroyed and polluted in the way that Enric spoke about. But what's happening now is they're actually moving further north to go to new areas where there are some of the last wild salmon population, Atlantic salmon populations. And there's a really big and intense fight going on in Canada. So there's kind of two coasts, two different conversations going on.
Thank you. That's super interesting.
But British Columbia is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.